When we see the Kothari Commission report, when we see the Kothari Commission report, you will be able to find out there is a one. If you have seen the PDF, if you have not seen, it's okay because in that very less time it may not be possible also to go through the PDF that I have sent. But there is a one very beautiful sentence that I want to mention, that when the report of the commission starts, that the education and national development, in the chapter 1 you must be seeing the very first sentence is the destiny of India is now being shaped in her classroom. So just I will try to start the discussion from this beautiful sentence, because it's a very beautiful sentence and it have a very inherent, very beautiful meaning, very you can say that the essence of the report. The report says that the destiny of India in particular, and when we talk the destiny of a country in general, actually being shaped in the classroom. Because classroom is the place where we prepare a future citizen, a future people, those who will devote their whole life for the betterment of the country, those who will spend their whole life to uplift the country, not only upliftment in the area of education, but also in the also upliftment in the area of the democratic structure of the country. Because if you have a well educated citizen, then only the democracy of the country will sustain. The democracy of a country will be achieved in a true sense if we have a good educated people. Then only research and development will happen. That is very important part of the sustainability of the human civilization and sustainability of any country. If the education structure, education system of a country, any country, I am not talking only in India, any country is not good enough, is not well structured, is not well strengthened, then the future of the country will be always in question. That's why this document identifies that the destiny of a country, any country in general and in particular, the India is now being shaped in her classroom. Here the point her is there because in the Indian mythology, in the Indian system and tradition, a country is supposed to be a feminine point, because we treat the country as a mother, so it's a feminine. That's why the her word is used. But irrespective of the his and her and all those things, it is a very beautiful sentence. That's why this document says that when we will be discussing further, and something we have already discussed also, then this document says that the education system of the country of India must be strengthened first. Second, must be aligned to face the challenges of the future. Because what kind of a challenges the person is going to face in future, we must prepare them to face those challenges. So the key of a success of any country is strengthening the education system of that country. If education system of that country is not strengthened, then the country cannot develop. So that was the first point that was identified by the national, that is the National Education Commission. The Education Commission 1966. That is the Education and National Development, headed by the D.S. Kothari. And that's why this document starts with that. The second very beautiful sentence, because when we go through the document, there are lots of beautiful things mentioned in that. That's why I always say you and recommend my students to go through these documents. It helps us to understand what kind of the education system was earlier, what kind of challenges our nation was facing, and how slowly we have made a path to come out of that problems and prepared the nation to face the challenges. The second very beautiful sentence that this document mentions, that Indian education needs a drastic reconstruction, almost a revolution. Means the kind of education system that we were having, that was much unscientific, much disorganized, and it was not at all preparing the children for the future challenges. So it was not only necessary to reconstruct the education system, but the drastic reconstruction was required. Means reconstruction throughout the length and breadth of the education system, at all stages, at all levels, in all areas of education. Whether stages when we are talking, whether it's a school level, college level, university level, research level, or whatever it is. When we are talking the area, agricultural studies, technological studies, even the sociological studies, science and humanities, okay, even the pure science, okay, even the medical education or nursing education, all type of education was in need of immediate reconstruction, because that was outdated, and through those kind of education we cannot be a developed country, and we cannot expect that the students coming out of those type of education will be prepared for facing the challenges of the coming times. So that's why it talks that Indian education system needs a drastic change, drastic reconstruction, and almost it's a kind of a revolution. Okay, when you will go this thing, you will find these sentences will come in. Lots of very beautiful narrations, beautiful arguments are there. And one more thing that I have told you to go through, that one is a very beautiful book written by the J.P. Nayak, who was the member secretary of this committee, the Education Commission, and after I have told you. Because there were so many dialogues, narrations happening in preparation of this document, which is not included as a standard part of this document, because this document talks only about the what kind of recommendations they are giving to the document in order to reconstruct a education system in India. But there was a lots of dialogue happening in and around when the commission was functioning, and that is not the standard part of this report, and all those things are documented by J.P. Nayak, who was the member secretary of this document also, and he has documented in that. So you can, if you want to have a holistic kind of you can say that the understanding of this report, you can study both the 4 volumes of this report and with that book written by the J.P. Nayak. It is very hard to go through this book, that's why I have given one summary of the book. Summary file also I have sent to you. You can see that also. So now come to the Education Commission report that it talks about. So the genesis of this report starts with the 5-year plan. It is not like that there was no effort was made by the governments till 1966. Till 1966, so many effort was made, and when the India got independent from the Britishers' rule, then we have started a 5-year plan. Okay, so the chalk out that what kind of activities we will be doing during the 5 year, and what will be the expected outcome, and how much financial burden will be there. So that was going on. So during the 5-year plan, it was felt that India is not, you can say that, developing as it is expected in the 5-year plans. Because in the 5-year plan, we were also planning a lots, including the education, and we were supposing that some outcome will come, but the expected outcome was not coming out, despite of the lots of effort made. So the cause why to identify, what is the cause, why it is not being achieved. So it was identified that education system in India is not appropriate. We are not preparing a child to face the challenges, to make a country develop, to contribute in the research and development. Okay, like that. So it was thought that the education is the inherent weakness, and this is causing that India is not developing as it was expected and as the effort was made. So a lots of committees were formed. The two very important committees were the Radhakrishnan committee, which was looking after the university education, and one was the secondary education commission, which was basically confined to look the secondary education. But later on, it is found that since these commissions and committees are fragmented, they are not looking education in a holistic manner. That's why again it is a very difficult to achieve the target goal. So again in 1964, government proposed that let us we form a committee, let us we appoint a committee that will look the length and breadth of the education, means at all level, in all areas. And this committee was appointed under the leadership of D.S. Kothari. He is a man of physics. He was chairman of UGC at that time, and the committee was headed by that, and this committee was formed. Some of the unique features of this committee were that this committee included the expert from almost all areas, because this committee was supposed to look the education as a whole. So this committee consisted total 17 members. You must be seeing there were total 17 members from all area, and one member secretary, one associate secretary, and one the chairman, D.S. Kothari. Member secretary was the J.P. Nair, and that associate secretary was J.F. McDougall. Okay, so that 12 member committee was, total 17 member committee were formed, and it has not included the expert from India, because we were trying to prepare a document that will be a guiding document for the future education at all level in all areas. So not only the expert from the India, the expert from the foreign were also included, and this was the first committee in the independent India which has the expert from the foreign countries, means the expert from the foreign countries who are excellent in those areas. Okay, and like that the committee was constituted and it has started working on the 2nd October, that is the birthday of birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so that was done, and to look the existing problem and to find out the way how we can come out, total 12 task force and 7 working group were constituted, because since the committee was supposed to suggest some modality to restructure the education system at all level, not only at school level but all level. So they have made a 12 task force and 7 working group committees to understand first, because in order to propose something, first you have to understand that what kind of a problem India is facing, what kind of education structure we are having, and what are the lacuna in those structures, what are the success stories from India and from the globe. So to understand and to point out and to chalk out, 12 task force and 7 working group of the committees were formed. Okay, you can see that the working task force were the school education, higher education, technical education, agriculture education, adult education, science education and research, teacher training and teacher status, student welfare, new techniques and methods, manpower, educational administration and educational finance. And the 7 working group were women's education, education of backward classes, school building, school community and relations, statistics, pre-primary education and school curriculum. So you can, by going through that, you can see that this includes almost all area, almost all level of education. And in order to understand the expectations of the people, the committee has interviewed almost 9,000 pupils, means men and women, from India of a distinguished, those who are for the distinguished public life, those who are a distinguished educator, scientists, industrials, even the scholars in different fields. So they have interviewed and they have scrutinized about the 2,400 memorandums, notes, and this whole committee worked for the 21 months and submitted the report in 1966. So by going through that, we can understand that how extensive, how you can say the detailed kind of a work they have done. Exhaustive, extensive work they have done. Excellent work. And the whole document is organized in the 4 volumes that I have shown you just right now. The first volume deals with the general aspect of educational reconstruction and the common to all the stages and sector of education. The second part deals with the school education. The third part deals with the educational planning, administration and finance. And the fourth part deals with the, you can say that, the other things. Oh, no, sorry, the third part deals with the higher education and the fourth part deals with the educational planning and administration. Okay, so these were. One more thing I will like to mention you, that when you will go through this document, please, since I have sent you, so please try to refer the original document, because for taking this class I was exploring over the internet also. In the most of the document that I have seen, it says that the document is organized in the 3 parts. Somewhere it is the 5 parts. Okay, and what are the content is also varying. But I was very sure, since I have all the volumes, that it is in the 4 volumes. So see how the authenticity of knowledge also differs when we refer the different kinds of a document. So it's always better, I used to say that it is always better to refer the original documents. Okay, so that is that. Now we will see that what were the main essence of the report. We will have the question and answer session also just after this, that is the point. We will go through the essence and then I will go take the questions. Why it was very much unique? What was the very much essence of this document? Because it talks that the improvement in the effectiveness of the primary education, because the primary education is a base of all kinds of educations that we are having. So the primary education must be strengthened, must be made more effective. And then it also talks about the introduction of work experience as an integral element of general education, because we have to prepare the child for the future. So we must develop some sort of interest and skill for pursuing work, for pursuing a course for future that will help in their livelihood. Then it talks the vocationalization of the secondary education. We must prepare the child for some vocation. It also talks about the quality of teacher at all levels and provide a sufficient strength of a teacher. Means we must give a sufficient strength to the every educational institute. Together with, we must look the quality of a teacher, and side by side the quality of teacher preparation education, so that the quality and exemplar teacher should be prepared. Okay, liquidation of literacy. The literacy must be liquidated, means it must be available to all people. Then strengthening the center of advanced study strive to attain in some of the university at least higher international standard. Whatever the center of advanced studies we are having, it must be strengthened to the higher international standard, so that we can compete the kind of competition happening at international level. We can prepare our child at the quality of an international level. Okay, the next thing it talks that laying a special emphasis on the combination of teaching and research, because teaching and research is the main thing, very important part for developing a nation, for making the livelihood better, for making and sustaining the democracy of a nation. So to be a self-reliant, the research and innovation must go on. So we must take part in that, and paying attention to education and research in agriculture and allied sciences. The research and innovation is not only in the area of science and technology, but also in the area of agriculture, because at that time India was not self-sufficient in the area of crop. In the time, crop was not much enough produced, and we were dependent on other country. We were importing the crop, even the rice and paddy and even the wheat, to feed the people of the country. So it was also vision that through the education we must be able to renovate, we must be able to develop the agricultural sector in such a fashion that it should produce a sufficient food to feed the peoples of the country. So we can see that how this committee was unique from the others committee, even whatever the committee we have after that also. That much exhaustive report is not prepared even before the independence, even in the independent India like that. Okay, so before proceeding further, I think we will take some question, so that okay, there is one question from the Sonali, that what is the difference between task force and work education? I think I was talking about not work education, that was working group. It was 12 task force and 7 working group. Okay, so task force team were responsible to analyze the situation, because they must know the what is the ground level reality in India, because unless or until we will not know the ground level reality, so it will be very difficult. So the task force were responsible for chalking out the ground level reality. Okay, so they were going to the field, they were interviewing the you can say the people, that we have seen that the 9,000 people are interviewed. So that was the responsibility of the task force, whereas the working group, those who are in the working group, they were responsible to analyze and chalk out the future direction. So this is the reality. So how we can proceed further? So they were responsible for that thing. Okay. Now we will see that what were some of the unique features of the report. As we are discussing that the uniqueness of the report was that it was very much, we can say that, the exhaustive report. It was very much comprehensive report that has dealt at all level of education, in all areas of education. Okay, so that was the one of the uniqueness of this commission report. It has not limited its recommendation to any particular stage, like that earlier we had a Radhakrishnan committee that was limited to the university education. We had a secondary education committee also that was limited to the secondary education. So it was not limited to any level of education, rather than it was seeing education as a whole, and it has recommended for all the levels of education, all the types of education. So that was one of the major unique feature of this report. The next uniqueness was that it has not only taken into account the experts from the India, but it has included the expert throughout the globe. Means those who are expert in any particular area from any country, all of them have been included in the report. So it is not like that it was recommended by the members of expert from India, but this report has included, this committee has included the experts from even the Japan, France, UK, USA and USSR, which is now Russia. Even we had this report, this committee had 12 consultants apart from the members, because that we have seen that there were 17 members. Okay, apart from that there were 20 consultants from a different country, and the consultant were recruited for some specific need and work to execute. Suppose that they want to understand the technological education, what is happening in and around. Suppose that we want to study that what kind of a technological education is happening in the Japan. Okay, so we have hired a consultant from the Japan and we have understood. So that was the one of the uniqueness of the report. And one of the again major uniqueness of this report was, this report has seen education as the center of power for a development of a country. Center of a power for being a developed country is not the politics, is not the industries, is not the any other things, but the center of development of any country is education, because through education only we can prepare a future citizen that can contribute to the development of country. So this was visualized by the committee, that the education is the center of power. Without education we cannot develop the country. So this was the unique three points. Now we will see that the reform proposed by the committee. Some of the reforms we have already discussed, that when we were discussing about the objectives and structure of education in India. So that thing I will skip for now, because that already is discussed in that class. So some of the reform proposed by the committee were the increased productivity, achieve spatial and national integration, accelerate the progress of modernization, and cultivate social, moral and spiritual values. So that I will be leaving for now because we have discussed it earlier. Structure and quality of education. Structured part we have already discussed, so that I will leave for the now. Now we will start from the quality. When we see the Education Committee report, the Education and National Development, and since this report has visualized that education should play the central role in development of a country, and that's why this report talks that the quality of education at all level in all area must be strengthened and enhanced. And one of the parameter of strengthening the education should be, it must be very much dynamic and of evolving standard. Dynamic in the sense that in the education system we must be able to incorporate the development happening in and around the world. The curriculum should not be fixed. It must keep changing. The pedagogy should not be fixed. It must keep changing. Even the outcome that we propose should also be changed and aligned to the demand of the time. It should be never fixed. So that's why the committee suggests that it must be evolving, dynamic in nature. The next thing for the quality was that the utilization of the facilities, because at that time the India was lacking in infrastructure. The infrastructure in the school were very less, very limited. So out of the limited infrastructure we must plan for the proper utilization and proper maintenance so that the optimum output can be achieved. And this proposes that the reconstruction and reorganization of a program for utilization of existing facilities. Whatever the facilities are available, to use it at a optimum level, we must reorganize, reconstruct the process. Second thing, it says that the working days must be enhanced to 39 weeks in a year, which was earlier only 36 weeks, so that the proper utilization of the time should happen. The next thing, it talks that the vocational education, that vocationalization of the school education must take place, that the production experience, social service camp, and the participation in the several studies program, literacy drive should be happened, so that they will get some experience and skills. Then the duration of working days should be increased at a school stage. Working duration, like that the working duration we have in our university 10 to 5:30, so that should be increased time, so that we can be able to more input to the child. And the last thing, that enhancement and the proper utilization of institutional facilities like a laboratory, like libraries, like workshops, like that should be proper utilized. Okay, so that this talks about. Now when we see what this document says about the school education. So actually when we talk about the school education, this document suggests the restructuring part of the school education, or you can say that the better to say that the whole education system. Yesterday also I have seen that some of you have asked me a question in the Google Classroom that I was mentioning that the Secondary Education Commission has suggested for 8 plus 3 plus 3. So 8 is 1 to 8, 3 is the secondary education, then where 1 year is going, because secondary education is 2 years, so it will be 8 plus 2, this is the 10th. So where is for the 1 year? Actually in the earlier, when we see before the even the Secondary Education Commission, the structure of education was not uniform throughout the country. It was very much diversified. I had one document. When you will go through this document, Education Commission report, one place they have mentioned also. I will send you the page number where the structure of education is given, and it has listed the structure of education in all the Indian states. It was not uniform. Somewhere it was the provision of a pre-university, somewhere it was not. So when the Secondary Education Commission was talking about the structure of education, so they have thought at a stage it is moving from that to that it will be very difficult. They were also in opinion that 10 plus 2 plus 3 the structure must be there, but they cannot able to do that. So they have suggested 8 plus 3 plus 3 means 8 year of schooling, that was supposed at a junior school. Then again 3 years of a senior school, senior secondary, where 2 year will be 9 and 10 and 1 year was a pre-university, and after that there was a part of a university, that is the graduation. So that was that. So when we talk about the education, the major recommendation was the restructuring the education system in India. Okay, and it was also suggested that the children up to the age of 14 years must be given the free and compulsory education. There must be a provision for free and compulsory education for all the children up to the age of 14. Okay, so there are others recommendations also. You can just go through that and you can understand. I think it is not very difficult because time is also running out, so that's I am trying to precise now my talk. So all those things you can understand, and even though you cannot understand, you just message me. I will cover all those things. Then since this report also talks that all the students up to the 14 years must be given free and compulsory education, that's why this means that document talks about the universalization of education, because when we are talking that all students must get education up to the age of 14 years, that is the universalization of education, the essence comes there. And this document suggests some steps also for achieving the universalization of education by the universal retention. We must not focus only for the universal enrollment, which is also part of the universalization of education, that mandate we have. So universal enrollment and universal retention, how we retain them, so there should be a less dropout from the education, and they have suggested. Okay, so you just go through that, you will be able to understand. There is no much thing in that, and by that I just stop my talk, and you are free to ask some questions, because there are still some time, 1 minute time is there, but we can extend on to 1 minute. So that will One question is from the Tanuj Sahu, sir. What is the main objective of Kothari Commission? The main objective of Kothari Commission was to understand the present situation that is happening in the country, that is the status of the country, present status of the country in education, to study the success story in education throughout the world, what are the success stories, and to suggest government for better organization of the education. That was the only objective when the commission was being appointed by the government, to understand what kind of situation we have in India, to study the success stories and to suggest. Because government, those who are in the government, suppose that the minister at that time was the Mr. Chagla, or the prime minister, they are not expert of everything. They cannot take decision by their own. They must know that what is at a grassroots level and how we can proceed by taking the opinion of the expert. So the expert committee was constituted, appointed, and they were responsible to suggest. Then one more question is from the Sonali, that is the liquidation of literacy. When we talk that the liquidation, we just understand and relate it with the very literary meaning. Liquidation comes from the liquid, and the liquid can move anywhere. It will not distinguish you and me. Okay, so the liquidation of a literacy is that the literacy must be, means learning opportunity must be available to all, irrespective of anything. वो क्या कास्ट है, जेंडर, रिलीजन, एनीथिंग. The literacy learning opportunity must be available to all. That is